Dr. Jorgensen, we've been awaiting a status report.
Our transmission feed was interrupted 2 hours ago, Doctor. Protocol states that if there is any irregular activity experienced during the project, it is your duty as team leader to immediately contact us with a report.
Everything is fine here. Much progress has been made. We've had a breakthrough.
Well, that's excellent news, Doctor, but our immediate concern is the lapse in transmission. What was the reason for the interruption?
Due to the storm, we experienced a brief power outage. There is no cause for alarm.
We are not alarmed, Hugo, but we are concerned. The backup generators at your facility are for just this contingency.
As well, if the generators failed in so simple a task as providing us with our surveillance feed, what are we to assume of the security and containment at your facility?
Containment is our priority, doctors. Everything is satisfactory here. We're looking into the issue of the generators, but power has been restored and the facility is secure.
Well, I, for one, am curious. What is the exact nature of your progress?
We've solved the problem regarding the genetic mutations and arrived at something vastly superior. We believe it is time for the NASC demonstration.
The NASC demonstration? I can understand enthusiasm for your findings, Doctor, but rushing to demonstrate the results could ultimately lead to setbacks that could be detrimental.
We need convincing evidence that a premature demonstration does not represent a danger of leakage to the outside world.
There is no issue regarding either containment or information being compromised.
How is the health amongst your team? This was an issue with Team 12. Have you noticed any incidents of unusual health problems?
Everyone's well-being is intact.
Have you been monitoring your own mental health during the past 18 months?
It is important that everyone involved in the experiment is at their best. There is no room for weakness.
It is extremely important that we maintain control of all angles of this experiment. We simply cannot allow someone or something to affect our desired result. We cannot start over again.
I, for one, am anxious to know what precise results you're looking forward to presenting us. Do you have a viable organism yet?
We have a variety of life forms that meet or exceed the capacities we set out to deliver.
All this should have been in your reports. We've not received any information of your breakthroughs until this transmission.
Dr. Lauder,
Excuse me if I'm being obtuse. But are we to assume that the team has made progress of such magnitude virtually overnight, during a program estimated to take another 20 months? I, for one, am skeptical. And I don't mind saying that I'm disturbed by your concealment of this information until now. This is not how things work, Dr. Jorgensen. You know that.
I apologize for the clandestine nature I have indulged in, but these breakthroughs came at some risk, and we knew the NASC would not approve. We had to work outside of the parameters set forth to achieve what we have.
I find it inconceivable that you would endanger the team, security, yourself, for that matter. We may have to assume control of the facility. I'm very disappointed.
If there are viable subjects, can you provide us with proof? Via video transmission relay?
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
I beg your pardon? This is not an acceptable altering of protocol, Doctor. You must issue a report and adhere to normal procedure.
Your concerns were expected. However, we are ready to provide extraordinary results. The issues of genetic composition stability are no longer a concern, and we have surpassed expectations.
Dr. Jorgensen, you are the one that set the schedule for these VTR reports. I'm dismayed that you would willfully hold back your advancements.
Your concerns were expected, and I do empathize. In your position, I might be anxious as well. But I must insist that a demonstration will alleviate all of your misgivings. It is imperative that you make the journey here and see.
We will take it under advisement, but obviously we will have to confer with the NASC.
Indeed. And should we choose to be present for a demonstration, I personally will insist on a thorough evaluation of the premises, your methods, and Team 12B. Is this clear, Doctor?
Very well. We await your decision, Doctors.
Well, what he says, it is possible.
It's very unlikely. I think we need to consider relieving him of his commitments.
Dr. Golan, you've known Hugo Jorgensen since your undergraduate work. What do you make of this?
Dr. Jorgensen's dedication to the field is immeasurable. And while I can certainly admit that his rogue behavior is troubling, it is not, as far as we know, at all unethical. I would be shocked if it were. As I see it, we are needed at the facility, regardless of whether it's to see this demonstration or shut it down as it stands and assume control ourselves.
I suppose I can agree with that. And I'm sure it's obvious that my instincts are towards the latter.
Well, I suppose it's decided then. We'll appeal to the NASC and request leave for a limited visit, pending Jorgensen's report. And for the record, I think it unwise to involve any other sectors until after the examination and appraisal of Facility 6. I think we should keep this contained.
I do feel the need to again mention Dr. Jorgensen's odd disposition during this conference. I mean, you know him far better than I, Max. Did he seem his normal self to you?
Hugo's always been somewhat remote, but did he seem like his normal self? Perhaps the best way I can answer that is yes, something seems off here. But it's difficult to put my finger on. I only pray that it isn't something at all like what happened to Team 12.
Well, the loss of an engineer was tragic, but I find it hard to believe that someone of Dr. Jorgensen's stature would ever allow things to go as far as they did with the first team. I don't feel it constitutes a danger simply going to the facility. I mean, things didn't seem out of control, did they?